Anyway, good to be here and thank you all for joining. Now, business documentation is the scarce millionaire skill, and I'll be able to demonstrate to you this evening how and why it is the scarce millionaire skill. So, as most of you know, as I always talk about, all my life I've done consulting, and it's in by next year I will be just 3 years shy of 20 years doing management consulting. That's a very long time. Even me, I'm surprised. Now, the business documentation is the hallmark of any knowledge worker. Is the height of the knowledge economy. And I'll explain how. So we have, without much theoretical description, let me broadly give you the categories of workers in the workplace. We have the knowledge worker, which is where most of us fall under. And I'll explain. Knowledge workers are people, let me give you a very, very funny description. They only need their laptops and internet, and they can get paid for that. That's a knowledge worker. Now, within the knowledge workers, we have the creatives, we have the in-betweens. When I'm in-betweens, people like the product managers and all that, but they're still knowledge workers. We have creative graphic designers and all. Then we have the techies. The techies are those guys that build solutions on languages, okay? They build solutions on languages. Please follow me very, very closely. So we now have a different set outside the knowledge workers. These are what I would call what some of you know as artists. So a Davido now can show up for a party, of course it's Davido, spend 30 minutes or so or less, and he leaves that place with 10 million naira. That's his charge. And then we now have that. So here is the thing. If you're not in that category, you're not a skit maker, you're not a content creator. The more recent ones that have taken off the market in Instagram and so on social media, then you are likely a knowledge worker. And like I told you, we have the technical folks and the not technical. There's a third category, the vocational side. So we have the artists, knowledge workers, vocational. Now there are more academics and so on and so forth, but I just picked, so even though the academics, they can talk them other knowledge workers. A knowledge worker only needs a laptop and internet. That's how to put it very simple. A laptop, internet, and maybe some apps. Now, within the knowledge workers, we have the people that are able to convert ideas into products. Please, what I'm saying is very important. And that's why I told you guys, I took some time to tell you to go and invite all your friends, because this session will be important. All right? I repeat myself. The knowledge worker produces an outcome that is financially, like is a product. So I won't call them vocationals, but how many of you know these women that create this new industry of soap making, skincare, hair care? They're all over the place. That they'll sit down, take some chemicals, mix it up, and they sell online. And they say, I created my formula. It helps with dandruff. It helps with hair growth. All that shebang that they went to research online and push out. I don't know what categories those guys fall under, but they are able to command payment for their products. It's the same way a knowledge worker can command money, command payment for their services. Let me narrow down on 2 or 3 workers. Let's take graphic designer. I need a logo. It's out. Please follow me. I'm giving you some very important background so you know where you fall and how it's important. And I believe this will be helpful. So you say, I need a graphic. I need to create a logo, whatever. The second one are people that use computer languages, or I'm speaking very plainly because I know it's a mixed crowd here, to build apps, web apps, or web applications or mobile applications. Group 2. Follow me. But there's a third group. And the third group are the people that I'm focused on this evening, which is where I have spent most of my life. Don't forget, everybody pays for their service, or probably produces something that they paid for their service. So, you know how much a developer would say, I can build your website. 500,000, 300,000, 200, I don't know, depending. Now, all of you are aware of the craze around tech. Oh, we want to go into tech. We want, people are just, hey, tech is the biggest thing now, pain. Please hear it from my mouth, and I've started. Tech is not the highest or the biggest paying thing. They pay, but there's another group that earns as much or as equal to tech if they're good. Don't forget, if you're not good in tech, you won't get paid. So it doesn't matter. Yes, you will take your time and learn. But some of you are like, is it by force that I must be front end, back end? And I'm no disrespect to tech people. I'm just trying to explain something. But hear it from my mouth that even the so-called front back end still needs to rely on someone with a higher level of understanding that is able to create the direction for what this product is meant for. And that is what I'm connecting you with. Now, let me land my point. Then I start. If two techies come together and say, let's build an app that will make it possible to predict traffic in Lagos, they come up with their methodology, blah, 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 and they build the app and can predict traffic. That is a solution. Then I start charging, blah, blah, blah. So people come on the app, you charge per visit, per view, whatever. Just hypothetical scenario. That is tech. Let me tell you what a knowledge worker can. The one I'm teaching you today. I notice that people in Lagos are always urinating everywhere. It's a very big concern. There are no public toilets. You can just be watching and a small child will just see some adult just right there in the middle of nowhere. You know what I'm doing, what I don't say verbally. And you're like, that's so disgusting. Let's write a proposal to the Lagos State government proposing that commercial public toilets are built. They will create jobs, they will clean up the environment, and at the end of the day, government can make money from it by concessioning and collecting revenue share from the operators. Listen to me. Listen very clearly, ladies and gentlemen. As something I cannot say on this call for security reasons. You can finish that proposal and put it out. Find a partner, and in about 3-4 years, you're worth $1 billion. You guys didn't hear me. I said everything I just said now, if you can present it in some of the ways that the document I just sent you. The problem is, it's not just the document. And that's why this session has to do articulation, so understanding, articulation, and execution. I am telling you that overnight, well, not overnight, maybe 2-3 years, because you take about 2 years to break through the contract if you're going through government, possibly 3. But if, depending on who you're pushing it through, your own share of the business can be 15%. Your own equity for documenting the idea, following through and supporting them, they can give you equity of 10%. What did you create? You only converted the idea into a document. What I'm telling you guys is not story. I'm telling you what our clients pay us for. How much have I earned? Not me as an individual. How much has my company earned in building business documentations over the last 4-5 years? I said I cannot say for security because I don't know who else is on the call. Maybe a 50-page business plan can go for as much as 6-7 million. You heard me say that. But to write a business plan is not simple. It's not straightforward. It's hard. This is what we want to introduce you to on this webinar. We want you to start your own journey to building your own documents because your career and your journey is tied to your ability to write. You heard me. Your career and your rise is tied to your ability to write. So even if you guys build mobile toilets or commercial toilets, and you say you want to manage it with apps, or you want to do, at the end of the day, the person they will come back to finish it is the person that documents it. And the person that documents it can collect a significant equity or upfront payment in the service of. That is why this skill is a ₦1 million scarce skill. two scenarios. Well, like I said, I don't know who's on the call. So let me not go for that. Because if I start talking scenarios now, the clients will be on the call on a lighter note. And I'm not going to disclose confidential information. I'm just saying that that's what people are paid for. What is documentation? What is business documentation? Here are a few of an endless list. Meeting notes. Are you for real? Yes, I'm for real. Opportunity assessment. Is there an opportunity? That's what people call feasibility study. But we took it a step further to say that, is there an opportunity here? Research. I want to find out about snail farming. My wife, my mother, my sister, my cousin wants to go into snail farming. Research. All the ideas have to be contained and produced at research. Proposals. Proposals are the killers. Solicited and unsolicited. Bids. I remember one particular year, a client was very desperate and needed to submit some bids for a major government contract. And I remember we billed the client at that time something in the range of 10 million naira for a work that would take us about a week. You heard me right. To put together comprehensive bid documents. Comprehensive bid documents. Like, it's sophisticated. How do you deal? In my career, one of the major documentations I did, and I always say it very proud, I wasn't alone. We're a group of people, but I was a member of the team. I was an active member of the team. We did what they call an IT infrastructure audit. IT infrastructure audit for a commercial bank. The project was in multiple millions. But here's the guy. We were not the one that audited the infrastructure, but we wrote the proposal that audited the infrastructure. And the implication was that we won a bid. And at that time, we beat the big four. I don't want to mention their names on call. The big four. We won the proposal. We won the bid. Lastly, political campaign strategies. I have done political campaign strategies for two senators, two governors, including one of Lagos State. In other words, it was still a conceptual idea, or I'm one of the candidates. I need a strategy. The other one we did was policy document for a presidential candidate. Are you seeing the implication of what some of us are doing? And guys, listen, I'm telling you why it's a millionaire idea, a millionaire skill. This is not story. I'm telling you, yours truly. And I'm sure my colleagues can say the same. But you know the challenge we always face? We don't have people who can join us at this level to document. A lot of our clients, when they come to us, what they're really looking for are substitutes to us. They don't really need us. What they need are people who can understand the requirement. Please follow my chain of thought. Select the content creation platform. Prepare the stories and the flow, which is what you call outline, and create the document. Understand the requirements. I can build a ship on this point because that is where the problem begins. Now, I'm not expecting that an ECP on this call, who is an ECP? An ECP is early career professional, 0 to 3 years. I'm not expecting you to come and compete with me to write a 6 million naira business plan or 10 naira business plan. I'm sorry, you cannot. Not in 1 year, not in 2 years. If you push your luck, maybe 3. Why? It takes time. But the reason why we're having this webinar is, when are you exactly going to start? Would you just keep would you just remain idle and not rather pick up a new skill? We're tired of looking for young professionals that can document. We're tired of looking for them. This one, even to work with or to refer to clients, or for whatever reason. Any young professional who has the ability to document at least should be 5x, that's the way to say it, 5x his or her contemporary. I won't say more than that. So understanding the requirement is comprehension. But comprehension is a function, please follow my chain of thought. Comprehension is a function of understanding what the problem statement is, or what the problem is, or what the solution should be. Let me explain again. Watch this. Emmanuel, I have a mom. My mom runs a chicken, runs a poultry, and she works very hard. She spends a lot of time at that poultry. She's doing well. She's always making sales. But the issue is she needs to expand. She cannot meet demand. So every time people come, she doesn't have chickens. But there's space, and she needs to build more cages and maximize the opportunity. My father said he would give her money, but because they are married, he doesn't want it to be a case of she will not give him back or she will not take it seriously. How can I help my mom? What does your mom need? Your mom needs a business plan to present to your father. Full stop. That is my understanding of requirements. Then you go ahead and prepare a business plan and you give your father. If you want to keep it simple, your mom needs a proposal to your dad to convince him to give her money to expand her chicken farm. Full stop. One more example. My auntie was just appointed minister among the new ministers that were appointed. And she's excited. She knows what I do for a living. And she says, I should bring something. What does that mean? This is my auntie. She lived with us. She's my mother's sister. I know when she used to come and take a nap in my room after school, after her university days, when she's tired and lecturers have given her too much work. She's now a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And she says, my company should bring something. Because I've told my boss, what are we going to bring? Understanding of the requirements. Let me help you. Number one, and broadly, you are bringing a proposal. These are just, I trust you're following. You are bringing a proposal. But what exactly is the proposal? What does your company do? And what are you guys going to propose to this minister that will tie to her own agenda? It is a solicited proposal in a sense, because it's unsolicited, where you just prepare a document and shoot randomly. But the point is that you have to articulate a valuable proposal. Why she should buy that service from your company. Let me give you the most common one. And the most common one is this one, which is the one we do a lot. I have just been appointed minister. Emmanuel, I need help. That one, we get that one more often. This is what we tell them. Hey, Oga, Madam, let's come up with your 2-year strategic plan for your ministry and for your administration. That one makes us like superstars every time. We say, let's give your administration a direction. Let's develop a strategic plan. Let's develop a corporate strategy. Let's develop a strategy. I have given you 2 or 3 scenarios, and I've explained what it is to understand the requirement. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're learning something. Now, I am able to do this now because of my experience. I mean, this is 16 years, right? 160. In fact, one of my friends was joking with me, said I should make it 500 clients because I should include pro bono. Well, that's a lot. Maybe 250, 300. Like people I've met. People have spoken to them about their business. I hear that, and I'm not, okay, maybe true. I just remembered one platform where I get to speak to quite a number of people with all sense of humility. It's not to impress you. You know, one of the things we're going to deal with in our webinar series is what we call the wisdom of the elders. And we're going to teach young people why that, as far as I know, don't be deceived. you still have to dip your roots in something. You can't just be jumping. You need a clear path to becoming something. The problem is if you build it on a faulty foundation, and that faulty foundation is you follow fad, you follow popular function. Oh, it is tech. That's how I can. It doesn't make you a millionaire now like before. And I'm not saying that, don't get me wrong, please, it's important. Please don't get me wrong. They are important, please. But I'm just saying that there was a time, these crazies continue to evolve. What really matters is your ability to solve problems. Please go and write that down. I'm serious. If you can solve any problem, and solving problems is the most difficult thing to do. That's why not everybody is successful. Number two, selecting the content creation platform. Now, this one is important because in this era of AI and multiple platforms, and that's why you need to sign up to crypto and just hang around. There are multiple platforms that people use. So, for instance, PowerPoint is the most popular. Proposals, presentation, and you'll see examples shortly. Then there's, okay, let me not say PowerPoint, presentation, but I have to mention some PowerPoint or Google Slides or some other platform like, what's this popular one that people always use? Canva. Thank you. Canva. Canva is a bit dynamic because it has a lot of templates, but it's an option. Now, I didn't learn with Canva. I hardly use Canva. I feel like even though it's a cheat app, it's very efficient, and it's good if that's an option for you, right? And then there are these newer ones, pitch.io, and some other multiple template selling platforms. My point is, if you're able to determine what platform you're going to use to build or application you're going to use to build your documentation, it may reduce the time you need to spend on it or increase the efficiency of the exercise. So we're going to do a webinar because crypto is going to be, this webinar is 52 weeks. I mean, until next year, like it's forever, man. This is our, until further notice, until we have a competent republic, the webinar is going to end. Some of you would outgrow it, and by the time you outgrow it, there will be a product waiting for you in front. But for now, what we are saying for early career professionals, we want to funnel you as soon as possible to the opportunities that match your career goals. Number three, preparing the story and the flow. This is highly, it's sophisticated. You're like, what do you mean it's sophisticated? It's sophisticated because if I'm using PowerPoint, I write storyboards. And you'll see my example shortly. I'm going to switch to example. I use storyboards. So I tell a story. Now, you have to be good at that to know how to do it. And I'll show you an example. What other people do, the amateurs, they just put a header. Something like introduction, background, which I hate, by the way. I can't stand those things. What do you mean by introduction, background? Tell a story. What is in this slide? Documentation process. Okay, now if you're doing a presentation, you can use one line and 2-3 words, phrases, background, or one word background. Even that one says, how about? Do you understand? Except if the word itself, like why, question mark, that's deep. If that's how you're doing it, fine. So preparing the story is the flow and the connection across the document from the beginning to the end in a way that the reader understands and follows the logic of your thinking. So you definitely will need a table of content to guide you. But generally speaking, that's how you make the connection. Lastly, is creating the document. If you notice, the first thing I put there is look and feel. Look and feel is a proprietary, well, it's not proprietary, but it's a general language that consultants use. How does the document look and feel? This one I'm using to present you see the way it looks. It's very simple. It was built on pitch.io, right? And you can see it's clean. It just says what I'm supposed to. It's not busy, it's just communicate. And don't worry, I'm moving to examples. I'm going to present 3 public documents that I picked up online. I called them for, I didn't want to pick any confidential document. My clients have to call upon, I'm never going to do that. But I needed to just go online, take a document and say, we make better documents than this. You too should be able to do so. or we make documents as good as this, and they're going to be popular brands. Within still documents, they're all online. Look and feel is how the document looks. Now, guys, in my opinion, that is probably 70% of the document. It's not as if people cannot write their plans in a Word document. Jam, and submit, which is how it used to be before. The problem is that nobody has time to read. Nobody's going to read a 50-page doc, Microsoft Word doc. Nobody. No. Except they use an AI tool. They need you to be able to save in 5 to 7, no, in a few PowerPoint slides that they will still not read. And I'm being honest, but at least they will appreciate. Executives want one page. Like, give me this thing on one page. 2, technical information, technical expertise. You can't write about a subject. You want to write about commercial toilets for Lagos State as a way of stopping people from polluting the environment. You will need an expert to give, because most times we are not the experts. Even though I told you what we make, the experts, on the other hand, cannot write like us. So at the end of the day, we meet halfway. Sometimes the expert is just desktop research. You heard me loud and clear. Desktop research. Now in this era of AI, because we're going to do a lot of series on AI, it's going to be an AI series. It's even to another level. It's crazy. And I will not lie to you, we're still adjusting to that reality. Some of us that have been very good with our foundation, we're able to navigate effectively and be more efficient. That's why they said AI will not replace you. It will not replace you. But the person that knows how to use AI well will replace you. Let me repeat myself. AI will not replace you, but the person that knows how to use AI will replace you better than you. 2, technical information. The functional and technical information that justifies or supports the documentation and increases its relevance, application, and objective. So if it's a proposal, it nails it. How are you going to deploy 10,000 toilets across Lagos? You need some technical information. And the technical information is not just how mobile toilets will be managed, sewage, evacuation. Are you seeing the complication? There is also technical information on the commercials. How much is the toilet going to cost? Are you guys beginning to see it? How much is the toilet going to cost? What is the revenue sharing formula? What are the projections for the people? Only technical people can give that information. That's why we always tell you guys, and I'm going to be careful. And my colleagues are here. They're always on my neck with cane, beating me. Stop, don't shout, don't go up. And hey, I don't worry. I need to talk like this so you know I'm real. I'm not trying to pretend. I'm not coming here to come and give you plastic surgery. That's why social media has taken off, because people are real. So I need to be real on webinars, right? So that you can connect with me. I beg you in the name of God. And I don't say this on public. If you have a choice, start your career with consulting. Full stop. I'm sorry. I have no apologies. My colleagues can edit this one out. If you have a choice, you can't, for now, until further notice. If you are still on crypto, if things change, we'll come back and tell you. You can't go wrong. You can't. You can't. You cannot. I've never seen anybody who understood it. You can't go wrong. It's important. It's fascinating. Anything advisory, even when you join an organization, I don't want to mention some industries or some companies, you can be in a particular function for years. And when you want to come out, it feels like you're starting from scratch. But if you start broadly, which is, and I will tell you the alternative to consulting, because I don't know who's on the call and I don't see faces. The alternative to consulting is when you work in an organization where they toss you from place to place to place. That is the alternative. The third alternative is if you're an executive assistant. They asked somebody very important 2,000 years ago, on what authority do you say these things? Some of us, we don't have it, but we can say it. There are depths we can't go on the call to explain, but just take it and go and sleep. The last one, and that's my own style. So follow me, please. when other facilitators that take it easy come. But for me, I'll tell you the way it is. Number 3, industry customization. So after you get to technical, you now need to know, now what is industry customization? You're writing about commercial toilets to Lagos State government that people are defecating, you want to change. Okay, it's a public sector proposal, it's government proposal. So if you're writing to government, there are stakeholders that read that document because it's going to be a memorandum of understanding between the company that will manage the project, if it's concession, or the companies that will be concession, the Ministry of Justice that will give MOE, the Ministry of Environment that will regulate. Are you following what I'm saying? The local governments that probably will be the custodians of the scheme. How are you going to communicate to the specifications of that sector? That is industry customization. So it's very close to technical, but together, they land you where you need it. So these are webinar series. You know they're teasers to bring you in, but they're good enough that if you're a good student, you can take them and run and succeed. And I've just explained to you the 4 components, and I told you a bit of stories of documentation process. Documentation includes articulation, comprehension, presentation. You articulate, you comprehend, you present. Okay. Well, you comprehend, you articulate, you present. I would admit it's the other way around. But hey, we're humans. You comprehend, you articulate, you present. And I did highlight that. But this is where I like to get into a practical session. So I'm going to go off and I'm going to present the first practical slide. Please follow me. I hope you're learning something. So there we go. Now, this is a very interesting. It is our beloved country's document. I needed to bring it because I want to bring it home. So, it's a recently reviewed document. You can see how new it is, October 2024. Some of you are feeling the pinch of the macroeconomic environment, which is unfortunate, but hey, this too shall pass. And this document was prepared by the federal government. It's a very basic document. But, I mean, of course, some of us have been offered to, work as analysts in very, very high government offices. There are cases when they asked us to send people to come and serve as technical assistants, executive assistants, business analysts, or whatever in government. And we were scrambling around the place, and we'll send you straight to the office of the vice president, straight to the office of the secretary general, straight to the office of the president. Like you literally work in presidency. And you will work on a document like this. That's why I told you that this thing I'm talking, I'm not just speaking without authority. Emmanuel, quickly, I need a seat. Somebody in the vice president's office. How far? I'm sorry. I don't want to say them. I say, I'm sorry. I can't send you because I can't send my people. When I say I can't send, what do you because our people are working for us. I mean, they don't want to leave. They don't want to work for vice president here. Or I can't send. I say, hey, if you can't hire us as a company, forget about it. And they're like, no, this going to be, I know that kind of lifestyle, you don't sleep, you work 24 hours for. I mean, we get those things almost every night, but there are no people to send. That's why crypto was established. And I'm trying to connect with you realistically because I understand how this thing works. I don't want to tell you some things, but I'm talking the way I'm talking because it's a very distracted world. So I want to connect with you. I want to make you lose your sleep. That's how I talk. In fact, if you don't lose your sleep after my talk, I don't feel like I've spoken. And that's my style. So please bear with me. I'm saying things that are very piercing about it, but that's it. So I'm giving you examples. I'm telling you that not once, not twice, not thrice. The one in government, I've received at least 10. Yes, in the last 24 months, 10 requests from all other forms of government, from state, commissioner, minister, House of Reps. Not once, not twice, not thrice. Some I've actually sent, at least to commissioner. Yes. So when we tell you, and what do they do? Comprehend, articulate, execute. Comprehend, articulate, execute. You sit in a meeting, the governor rambles, the commissioner double rambles, you produce a document like this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a document. Look at this. It's publicly available. My colleagues can share it. Look at this. Vision, objectives. Nigerians are tired. They want to hear results. So let's articulate something for them. I'm just talking hypothetically. This is it. And if you notice, it says an era of bold reforms. It's all psychological. There's a reason. Because they're bold. I mean, with what we've gone through, that was bold. Objectives, you can see. Table of contents. There we go. Simple. Now, why am I showing you this? Can somebody on Crypto be referred to this team? And they will join this team and be the primary developers of this document. Most times, these people just sit around the experts, listen, take notes, and produce this. That's all. I repeat myself. Most times, I told you when I wrote that proposal that the IT infrastructure audit, the value of that project now, considering inflation, this was in 2010. We wrote that document in 2010 that we won the bid for a top tier one bank. All of you know the bank. All of you know the bank. IT infrastructure review. Guys, I read economics. I was 2 years in consulting. I read economics, but I wrote a proposal to audit the infrastructure of a commercial bank. We did not only win it. In fact, we won it. That's the point. We didn't only win it. We beat the other consulting firms that were known for it. Now, they too could have won it if we're not there. But what does a consultant know, for goodness sake? That will make you write about IT infrastructure audits. Do you know how complicated it is? Email exchange, the software, the architecture, the design, the core infrastructure, the security. Like, I've forgotten the name. It's been a while. How are you able, for goodness sake? That proposal, I mean, at that time, it was where I used to work then, just like 2 years into it. Look at what we've done. And that's what we're trying to tell people, that this skill is a $1 million skill. It's $1 million. There are documents and projects now that if we had people who could document, there's more, there are clients that are ready to pay for it. But we're tired of looking around. That's why we said we need to talk about this. So anyway, here's the table of content. Then we have sweeping reform in pursuit. Yes. So look at this. This is a tag. Now, you know what I told you, that you cannot document in Microsoft Word and just verbatim. This is what I mean. Nobody's going, this thing can be written as two Microsoft Word pages. But look at the way it's presented. This is what I'm saying. Now, some of you are familiar with this, but you don't understand why it's designed like this. And what is important, there's some of you now that actually have a 9 to 5, need to go back and start writing like this. You will notice how you become, I promise you on my salary, you will become the most sought after staff in your company. This thing is making me want to be swearing up and down at this point because of how I sound. Like, because I feel like people don't believe me. Like, this guy must be joking. People don't, it's tech. I'm going to build mobile apps. Guys, I know they build mobile apps now. Me, they tell people they build mobile app, what is they supposed to? This thing not thinking. It's thinking. But they don't go hear what they say. I know it's too simple. Hey, come for webinar, come for crypto, we go join. Okay, no problem. Continue to be calling figures up and down. Has to make someone laugh in case you're sleeping off. Look at this. I mean, it's a document I'll give you. You can go and read it. And there's a lot to learn. Now, this is a bit busy, but it's fine. It's clear. There we go. Are you following me? There we go. This is the reason you're going to get the document. Why is this important? This is why it's important. As an early career professional on this call, how many of these slides can you create? Look at this slide. Just wait for a second and think. This is what I do for you, or this is what I've done for you. Now we're in the era of crypto, so I'm coming here to come and crack jokes on webinar, which is new to me. And then we can go. Watch this, guys. I'm not here to, I will give you this document. It's public information. I'm just trying to explain to you whether you can build a document like this. That's why we said the Millionaire skill set. You could have been in Aso Rock, lead my lips, Aso Rock, sitting down in front of the president and making his presentation. Some of you will be, if you take heed to what we're telling you on this call. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Colors, headers, bullet points, graphs. There we go. Lots of graphs. Why are graphs important? They are illustrative in providing the necessary insight for what we're talking about. They are intuitive and they compress information into visuals and nail the point. I'm not talking about the thinking, the flow, but I'm challenging you. So if some of you are under pressure from you want to copycat and jump into an industry like tech, before you jump, come and see this one. And I'm not taking a swipe at tech because I'm not. I'm just trying to liberate some young people, to save them and from a career suicide, to tell them that there are options in the market. This is not the only one. This is just a segment of the market. And I told you this kind of skill, until it becomes popular, this kind of skill will always put you in the boardroom. Last week, you guys missed it. If you missed it, go and watch it. Emmanuel was on the call. I've worked with Emmanuel personally. If I were contracted to build this document, which I can, by the way, yes, you heard me, I can build this document entirely and even improve the thinking. Single-handedly, I can do it. I would work with like 2 or 3 Emmanuels. We'll divide the work, and put it together. Now, we're still going to interview experts. We're still going to talk to people. But at the end of the day, this can come out. And ladies and gentlemen, you can learn this skill. Let me show you the second presentation. There's a lot in there, by the way. This one is from a popular company you all know. Also available online. Same story, but there we go. Technology's role in mineral criticality. There we go. Well, we found this document online. Please, full disclosure, we did not, it was made available online. I guess maybe it had outlived its relevance, or somebody probably, but it's online, like I said. And please, if they reach out to say, no, it shouldn't be online, we can't be the ones to take it back. We're just using it for training purposes. Full disclosure. Technology, look at this content. Now, what they are doing here is this, and that's why our webinars are designed to expose you. They're a bait to bring you in so that you start your journey, because it's a journey. It's a journey. No, it's a journey, and you only get better. But if you're not on that, if you're not in the bus to start the journey, that's when there's a problem. The world will move, and you know. So technology driving criticality in mineral demand. Why did they circle this? I'm just randomly taking this. They circled this because that's what they want to discuss first. When you now get to the next one, they will now circle the second one. Now that's intuitive. It's intuitive. It's a bit of, I don't call it gamification, but it's the logic you use to carry the reader. And you learn these things with time. I'm still going to share some tricks, by the way. Then we begin. You saw this in the previous slide. But pay attention. Can you see look at the arrows and where it's pointing? The gist is on the left. This one is way more sophisticated than the previous one I showed you. Then we have the mineral resources. It's showing growth rates. Now, for those of you who have followed me online privately, you've heard what I said. Your usual mathematics, the problem is that there may be some executives on this call who you are too far in your career to start learning this. That's why this is an early career program. But as an executive, you need to be able to interpret data like this, because this data is built for you. And it means a lot. It reflects growth rates, changes in variables. And that's why like I said, I'm exposing it. Now, there we have this. Look at the left. Middle class exploration, aging population, millennials taking over, shrinking household size. Look at the factors on the left. By the way, these ones, they are using storyboard. You can see storyboards on top. Then you now have the maps with all the data inside. This is what you need analysts, early career professionals, to do. They are the ones that provide the data that is used to explain these factors. This one is crazy. There we go. All the minerals and their current rate of extraction. Map of the world and the distribution of minerals. Now, this is up now. Emmanuel, can you do this again? Yeah, it will take some time, but yes, I can. I won't do it now though, where I'm in my career. This will be a lot of time. But this is things we've done over the years with analysts. There's more. Look at the second slide. Can you see? Current meeting challenge with technology, and it's circled. Remember, I told you the first one was technology, now it's supply, and then we continue. Introduction of pictures, more points. Now, if you notice, the slides have the text has become bigger. I'll tell you why. See, small here, big here, small here, because of size. So there's that adaptation. But I suspect, this is way bigger. It was designed so that it fills up the page, and the page is not empty. This is look and feel. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, everything I've written like this can be written like prose, like text, from beginning to the end. 150 pages. No, I haven't even read a book, just verbose text. But I can take 10 pages and convert it to this one page, and I communicate my message. I'm not here to teach you. I'm here to open your mind and to give you the things I said on the side. That's the purpose of the webinar. And say, why is it $1 million scale? Next week, we're going to take one aspect of documentation, just one, and then walk you through it. So our webinars are now going to start going deeper, but we started dancing around this before we now go, because we need to first open your mind before we go. I need to go back to my previous slide as I start to round up this session. Here we go. How to start your documentation journey. Frankly speaking, sign up to crypto first. That's the journey. I mean, the journey is long. Remember when we talked about what crypto was trying to achieve? Crypto, we want to make, now we're not saying that if you join crypto in 6 months, you present a document like any of the ones I've shown you. Take you longer, because that's not what you do for a living. But at least you now know that this is possible. Now, the product we're building would, if you're an early character, would help you to continue to leverage these skill sets to build on it. Let me give you a word of encouragement. When I left university and I came to Lagos to sell, which wasn't planned by the first time my boss came to the side of my laptop and said, PowerPoint, I looked at him, I was like, what's that? Excel. Sorry, I didn't get you. Word. Could see. Me, Agbaya, like me. You came to Lagos, sharp boy, you're sharp, story. I was using laptop to watch movie. Look at me today. It is possible for you to. Some of you are even way more advanced than me. What's your excuse? You should be not so wrong. Courtesy crypto. Documenting like this. Secondly, read books and materials. Your learning journey. I taught you guys the power of a personal development plan. You have to go back to that series. You saw my own personal development plan. That means your own personal development plan should contain how to build PowerPoint presentations. And there are tons of them on YouTube, tons of them. Check out Analysts Academy. That's a secret between us, only if you're on the webinar or only if you watch this webinar. Analysts Academy. Start from there. And whatever else you see online. And then lastly, practice, practice, practice. Mr. Tarfa, my job is very light. I mean, financial control, we don't do anything. I lie. A big lie. And your head, you're not thinking like an entrepreneur. All the management reports that your head of finance has been doing. Collect it and recreate it using these powerful slides. The MD will send for you. If the MD does not send for you, come and call me. The MD say, who did this? Call the person. Okay, no, Emmanuel, that's too far. Look for a non-profit. Look for opportunities to volunteer and document. But most importantly, within your organization, you have the opportunity. You have to practice. Except you're in consulting or advisory like us, that this is our primary mode of production. It's our PowerPoint, is our hoe and cutlass. You have to create the opportunity for yourself to learn and to practice. Thank you for listening and have a great evening.